Hello, my name is Pooja. Welcome to a new episode of Around the World. Recently, a major decision related to the Indo-China border dispute has come to the fore. In Ladakh, the armies of both the countries have retreated from the border. Both the armies have retreated from patrolling pillar number 15 in the Gogra-Hot Springs area of Eastern Ladakh. A spokesperson from Ministry of External Affairs has stated that the retreating process started on 8 September and was completed by 12 September, as per the agreement reached between the two sides. For almost 2 years, there was a standoff between the two sides over the border dispute. However, the armies of both the sides have now retreated in a planned manner. According to the media reports, it is a major incident amid the standoff between the two countries in the region. Now, a significant question arises that what is the meaning of disengagement or systematic retreat? Secondly, will this exercise improve relations between the two countries? We will discuss all the aspects in detail in today's story. But first of all, let us know the whole issue in brief. The dispute between India and China began in April 2020, when China established a military barricade on the disputed LAC, that is, Line of Actual Control, in Eastern Ladakh. China accused India of carrying out construction works on the LAC. The armies of both the countries confronted each other in areas like Galwan Valley, Pangong Tso and Gogra-Hot Springs. Meanwhile, a violent clash broke out between the two sides on June 15th. In this clash, 20 Indian soldiers and 4 Chinese soldiers were killed. There is also a dispute between the two countries over areas like Gogra-Hot Springs, Demchok and Depsang. After June 2020, 16 rounds of talks have been held between the two countries at the Corps commander level. The disengagement exercise is taking place after the 16th round of talks. Basically, disengagement is a location-based practice. In disengagement, soldiers who are facing each other on a front retreat. The disengagement implies that the armies on both the sides have agreed to prevent further deployment in the region in a coordinated, phased, and verified manner. About 50 soldiers from both the sides will now guard their respective territories. The Ministry of External Affairs has also stated that both the sides have agreed to remove and mutually inspect all temporary infrastructures and other associated basic infrastructure, although both the armies were at a distance of a few kilometers from each other before the standoff began. But the situation has changed after the recent disengagement. Both the armies are retreating but are still ahead of their earlier position. Indian and Chinese troops have now retreated from all the points of conflict, namely the north and south banks of Pangong Tso, patrolling point 14, patrolling point 15 and patrolling point 17A. However, according to experts, there are several other border-related controversial issues that need to be resolved. A pertinent question arises at this juncture that how a stubborn country like China finally agreed to retreat from the Eastern Ladakh border. Actually, China's retreat from the Eastern Ladakh border should not be seen only as regional politics. If China has backed down from the Eastern Ladakh border, it is because there are some compulsions. In recent times, China has strained relations with various countries. At present, China is in a standoff with Taiwan, the US and Western countries. On the other hand, China's relations with India have now been tumultuous. Hence, China does not want that its relations with the neighboring country, India, should be strained further. China wants to focus on Taiwan and the US for now. However, China's retreat from the Eastern Ladakh border is nothing less than a victory for India. It is a well-known fact that when China wants to achieve something in its neighboring countries, then it leaves no stone unturned to achieve it. We have seen China's success in Nepal and Sri Lanka, and the countries involved are not able to resist much. However, India is now posing a challenge to China. If India starts countering China, then it would not back down at all. The case of Eastern Ladakh is the prime example of India's firm determination. It has sent a message to the global community that India is a country that counters China firmly. Consequently, India's credibility has increased significantly in the world. Now, the question arises that should we assume that this exercise is a step towards bettering relations between the two countries? In this regard, experts believe that both the armies are carrying out this exercise only for political purposes. It is being claimed that 16 rounds of talks were held between the two armies. The last round, that is the 16th round of talks, was held in July 2022, and an agreement to retreat from the border was reached during the last round of talks. However, experts believe that there was no such indication in the joint statement of that meeting. It is being claimed that retreating from the border is a very hasty decision. Therefore, it is believed that this exercise of both the countries may be extremely temporary. The armies on both the sides have retreated, but they have not retreated to the extent that the retreat should be considered as significant. Therefore, it is feared that situation can take turn anytime. Furthermore, it should not be assumed from this exercise that relations between India and China will become cordial again. Gone are the days when India-China relations were at their peak. A slogan like Hindi Chini Bhai Bhai has become a thing of the past. Therefore, all the deadlocks cannot be resolved by mere one agreement. This move is certainly welcoming, but so far nothing concrete has come to the fore after the agreement. Hence, one cannot say with certainty that this agreement will have far-reaching consequences. However, this agreement is likely to reduce the ongoing tensions between India and China. It will be interesting to see to what extent the tensions between the two countries will reduce and to what extent the relations between both the countries will improve due to this agreement. Now let's look at the question, what is the meaning of disengagement of Chinese troops from the Eastern Ladakh border? Has this engagement enhanced India's credibility in the world? Evaluate.